wish you love.
Thank you. Hello you, today we are at Thorpe Camp Museum for the 1940s weekend. It's not one I've been to before, so this is a first for me. Join me and we'll have a look around. And of course the day started with perfect weather for a 1940s weekend and outdoor car show. Welcome to Thorpe Camp, part of #1 communal site RAF Whittle Spa, built in the 1940s with a planned lifespan of only 10 years. The site included the mess, airmen's dining halls and the NAFI, together with the ration store, latrines and ablution blocks. Part of the site came with an area acquired by the Woodland Trust when they purchased the adjacent Carwoods. It was the Trust's plans to demolish the buildings that resulted in the formation of the Thorpe Camp Preservation Group. And after all that information, it's a perfect time for an egg and bacon roll.
July, I wish you love.
Mr. Lily Lovejoy.
Night breaking hard and angry. You and I could never.
We arrived quite early because we were showing 2 cars, so there weren't many people here at first, mostly because none of them were mad enough to come out in this weather. But as the weather cleared, the numbers picked up. Is that Winston Churchill?
Good. Ho! To the front. Salute. Carry on, sir. Aye, sir. Good. Standards. Ace.
They have a little cinema area inside one of their buildings. What came first, the building or the plane? I do hope someone's looking after this poor chap. I believe from the sign these are parts of the Spitfire's Rolls-Royce Merlin engine. Surely this poor man should be taken away in this ambulance cart. He's probably quite chilly on the floor.
It's nice, I mean, when we first got into this building, part was
It was time for the parade, mostly in sync. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember Eeyore being RAF standard issue. There were a few stalls and games you could play down one end of the camp near the NAFI, which happens to be why we walked down this end. Unfortunately, it was closed at the time. We didn't realise this is because the memorial service was on. If we had, I would have been there and not trying to get cake. The weather was certainly looking a bit more promising than it was when we arrived. This stall had various 1940s styled goods, so you could dress up the next time you went to an event. If you've ever been to an event dressed up, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Thorpe Camp is often described to be like a TARDIS. It doesn't seem very big from the outside, but once you're in the museum there's a lot to see. Cold War and simulators in here apparently. Don't know what kind of simulator they have. Since this is an RAF base, I'd hazard a guess it's a flight simulator. It's quite big, isn't it? I certainly wouldn't like it pointing at me. I wouldn't like to get caught up in this. This is one of the flight simulators you could try, currently operating as a Lancaster bomber. Visitors can also fly the Tornado F3 mission simulator. There's another VR simulator to the left, but I wasn't sure what it was simulating, though I can guarantee the ejector seat is not part of it. At least I don't think so, I didn't see any holes in the roof. Here is that Tornado F3 simulator. Check out Thorpe Camp's website and you can book a go in one of the simulators. Let's have a look in the... Excuse me while I have a moment. Oh, how do you say that? Hodsonaga? Maybe? I think my brain was very tired right then. Let's have a look in the Hodson hangar. Here we go, got there in the end. Whether or not it is right, you can let me know in the comments. It's a tiger moth. The de Havilland tiger moth, to be precise. If you're wondering why the hangar's named how it is, avoids trying to say the name again, there's some information for you. You can pause the video and have a read. I've only ever been in jets going to different countries, big jumbo jets. I wonder what it's like to be in a plane this size. Part of me would love to find out and part of me would be terrified, I think. I have no idea how people do wing walking on planes like this. Not specifically on that plane, but you get what I mean. They're very brave.
So when you hear it thunder, don't run under a tree. There'll be pennies from heaven for you and me.
Vintage singer Mr. Alan Jackson.
Morning all. Are you alright?
Very good, thank you.
Sun's out now. Glorious, glorious. Of course I put my winter tweed on. You'll find your fortune falling all over the town. Be sure that your umbrella is upside down. I'm gonna write words oh so sweet. They're gonna knock me off of my feet. A lot of kisses on the bottom. I'll be glad I got 'em. I'm gonna smile and say, I hope you're feeling better. And I'll close with love the way that you do. Right words, oh so sweet. They're gonna knock me off of my feet. A lot of kisses on the bottom. I'll be glad I got 'em.
After all the excitement, it was time for a quick break for some Pringles. I remember a time when I could get my full hand inside the tube. Perhaps that's telling me something. How do you eat yours? Do you nibble on a crisp, or do you stick the whole thing in one go? It was after eating a couple of Pringles we suddenly had a visitor.
Right, if you're facing the marquee, ladies and gentlemen, it's just to the left of the tree.
Or is that to the right of the trees? You'd see it too if you look to the right.
You see him? Ah, there you go.
He's having a good old time.
He's just having a nice fly, isn't he? Thank you.
He's what?
Sorry, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, banking. We'll leave that there. We all thought that was our fly pass until a friend joined him. It looked like a game of cat and mouse. And then, to our amazement, we had another familiar silhouette in the sky. It was quite a surprise. Wow, indeed. And we got fly past after fly past after fly past.
Oh, beautiful.
What an amazing sight, but we didn't know the special treat we were about to get. Absolutely amazing. We got some really special treatment that day.
The company jumps when he plays reveille. He's a boogie woogie do for company me.
And then the NAFI had finally opened. It's time for cake. And they had a nice selection to choose from. Might have lemon cream maybe. I went for the lemon cream cake. This is tasty. They decorated the NAFI nicely with RAF memorabilia and various pictures. And then it was time to start the grand tour of the museum in my wheelchair.
She's got a real high.
Hello, hello, hello.
She never finds a dress.
Now I might look like a Wally in these next few shots, but I was trying something different. I had the DJI camera for the best shots, the Insta360 camera going for all-round views and different angles, but for the first time I was trying out the Insta360 Go camera, strapped to the brim of my hat for a first-person view. It was like having a film crew with me.
It's so refined. She's one of them high-class kind. Never shares a kiss. She lets her lick your night. Oh, it feels like kissing. Any kiss is dynamite. I wonder what she's doing when I hold her tight. Oh, she's so refined. My sugar is real refined. She's got the kind of girl smile.
Even though the weather had been a bit wet and cold, the ice cream van was very popular.
She little dogs that can friends, they're never friends. She says banana instead of banana. She says piano instead of piano. And you should see how she sits on her settee. Kit Kat coffee bellies on one knee. My sugar is so, she's one of them.
It was time to enter the Lancaster hut. If you hadn't guessed, all of this hut's about the Lancaster.
And although I love her, and we'll be married soon, I wonder what you do when we're on our honeymoon. So refined.
This big thing is a Merlin engine for the Lancaster bomber, and over here is a Rolls-Royce built engine for the Lancaster bomber. And this is the front of a Lancaster bomber, or a replica, and one of its giant wheels. I think I'm safe to not point out the rest of it is also about the Lancaster bomber.
With German fighter pilots potentially lurking in the darkness, and the crew could not let their guard down for a second. They could see aircraft beside them in flames, and soon parachutes being deployed, helplessly watching their comrades, wondering if they would be next. Every mission could be the last for the 7-member crew. Few completed and survived a full tour of 30 operations. 50% of bomber crews were killed, and when adding accidents during training, the statistic becomes 6 out of every 10. Regarding the enemy, these missions were responsible for killing thousands, mostly civilians. Hundreds of thousands were wounded and left homeless, and cities were turned to dust.
Hello, Skipper. Hello, Navigate. Half a minute to go. Okay. Hello, engineer. Skipper here. Yeah, will you put the revs up, please? Yeah. Okay, keep wheeling. Close those sides tight as well, Skipper. Yeah. Okay, boys. Okay. Pump door open. Hello, Bombardier. Okay, with you are. Pump door open. Bomb door open on here. Right.
Sorry if you find the headcam a bit wobbly, but it was the only one filming at the time. After the excitement with the plane, it was back to the trusty wheelchair. Thank you.
Or would you rather be a mule? Well, it's deserving everything. That is wrong. And it's really with a star. You may grow up to be. Oh, would you like to swing a star? And move over down. Oh, be better off than you are. Or would you rather be a pig? Pig is an animal with terrible instincts. The shoes are a terrible disgrace. As no man is when he eats his food, he's fat and lazy and extremely
What you can see now is the English Electric Lightning, which had skyrocket performance. The Lightning wasn't just fast, it was the only British designed fighter capable of going Mach 2. That's twice the speed of sound.
Someday. When I went, one of
And it's raining. Yay!
Yeah.
Time to go in a hut, I think. That sounds like a splendid idea. Nearly as splendid as these two gentlemen. And here we end this video. Thank you very much for watching, and check out part 2, which is coming soon, for the continued tour of the inside of the museum. If you don't want to miss it, click that subscribe button, and if you liked what you saw, please click that like button. Tatty bye.